Hi, I'm Colleen. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This video is part of a series on executive functioning. Today's video actually will be really great for a tutor to watch with a student, or a parent to watch with a student, or even for a student to watch on their own. Today I'm going to include some information about how to use your planner to plan your homework and your time. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around. Okay, let's get started. So, first of all, let's talk about why you would use a planner in the first place. I'm sure you're like many of my students who think, I can remember all the things that I need to do. I don't need to write it down. Yes, you do. As you get older and as your schedule gets more complicated, you're going to be responsible to remember a lot more information. And if you don't write it down, you're going to forget it very easily. Also, this is a really important life skill. Lots of adults use planners, and it helps them stay organized and get to the places that they need to go. So it's really a good idea to develop this habit now. If it's written down, you are more likely to remember it. So your agenda book, your planner, is essential. So you have to decide what kind of planner you want to use in order to keep yourself organized. So what are the options? There are different kinds of planners that you can use. You could choose a paper one, or you could use an electronic one. The most important piece of using your planner is that you have access to it all day. So if your teachers and your school do not allow you to use electronic devices during the school day, then it's going to be really important that you use a paper planner instead. Well, some schools will provide students with a paper planner. That's really nice because oftentimes it has the calendar for the school included, and it's smaller and easier to keep in your backpack. You can also purchase your own planner that's a paper planner so that you can pick the size of your boxes and all of the other goodies that are included in your planner. And you can pick something that looks appealing and you like. Okay, so you could use a paper planner, but what else could you use? There are lots of apps that you can use on your phone or your computer in order to write down and track your homework. That's a great tool if you have access to your computer or your phone throughout the day. Now, some of those apps are free, some of those apps you have to pay for. But something else that can be completely free is to use Google Drive. You can make a Google Sheet and create your own planner. First, I want to start off with taking a look at some actual planners that students use. If you choose to use a paper planner, here's an example of what a great paper planner should look like. The student has labeled each of the classes. The student has included the cycle. So this school happens to have a cycle that goes by the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and those classes cycle each day. So the student has written at the bottom, you'll see in the blue, you'll see that the cycle for that day is written under each column each day of the week. So that's going to help the student know which classes are on which days. I want you to notice that the student writes in each of the boxes. Yes, each of the boxes for each class. There is something written in each box, even on the days that the student doesn't have any homework. That's really important because if you don't write in the box when you don't have homework, it's hard to know if you didn't have homework or if you forgot to write it down. The next thing I want you to notice is that the student includes details about the assignments, page numbers, and due dates. That's going to help you to stay on track to make sure you finish the work on time. Also, I want you to notice that the student checks off assignments when they're finished. This way you don't waste time going back through your homework papers to see if you've actually finished an assignment or not. This helps you to stay organized and more efficient. Something else I'd like to point out in this agenda book is that the student has, in the side, there is a list of things that the student needs to do. Those things don't necessarily have to do with academics or homework. That's an important thing to note. Your agenda book can include other items besides your homework. Those other things impact the amount of time that you have to do your homework, and it will help you ultimately plan your week and your time better. So if you write down other things like sport events, doctor's appointments, meetings you have with a group for a class, then you can make sure that your time is organized better. I also want you to notice that the student has written on Saturday and Sunday. Even though the student does not go to school on Saturday and Sunday, the student has written information down on those 2 days. If you don't write the information on Saturday and Sunday, you are likely to forget about long-term projects or homework that was assigned on Friday afternoon. So it's really important that you include that information. Or you might have activities that you need to do on the weekends. So you need to include those as well so that you can plan your homework more efficiently. I want you to take a look at this other example of a paper planner that a student has used. At the top, you'll see that the student has included some information about other things that need to be taken care of. Reminders, that's an important thing to use. I also want you to notice that the student has highlighted when they need to study. So it seems like maybe in that class a student might forget that they have to study for something. So highlighting it will bring your attention to it. And you could even go as far as color coding your highlighters so that each class has a different color for their tests for you to study for. Color coding is a really great way of keeping your things organized. That's a great transition to electronic planners. So I want to show you this next planner. This student uses an online planner. I want you to notice a few things. First of all, this planner comes from Google Sheets. It is free. So if you have a Google Drive, you can create one of these yourself. I want you to notice that each class is a different color. Those colors correspond to the dividers in the student's binder, to notebooks that the student has for those classes. This helps the student quickly find their things. So if you know that math is always red, you can find all of your red items quickly and be able to put those things together. You'll have all of your supplies at the ready for that class. Okay, so not only does the student include color coding, the student also has a column for when assignments are done. So there's a column for what the assignments are, and then there's a column to check off when the assignment is done. This is helpful to prevent your planner from getting messy. The first student who was using the paper planner was making the check marks over the assignment. Now the problem with that is if you need to go back to refer to what the assignment was, for example, maybe you need to revise the assignment, or maybe something got lost and you need to redo the assignment, it's harder to find out what you were supposed to do if you've put a big check over the words. So this student has a column where you check off if you're done. Also, notice that the student includes the date, and this school actually runs on an 8-day cycle, so the student has written down the cycle day that it is. That's really helpful because then the student can keep track of which days they're doing what work. And also they'll know what books and supplies to bring to. The student has included detailed information about the assignments and has used all capital letters in order to highlight important information, something that they might forget to do. These are all visual clues to help you know what's important and to help you find the important information quickly. That will make you more efficient. That means your homework will get done more quickly, which we all want, right? Okay, so your planner needs to be with you and available all the time. If you choose to use an electronic planner, you need to make sure that you have it available when you're in class. You need to have it available after school. You need to have it available if you see a tutor. You need to have it available on the weekends even, because you should be adding things to your calendar on the weekends. How do you use your planner? Not only do you put down assignments that need to be done, when you finish those assignments, when the assignments are due, and any information about activities that you need to do, you're going to use this planner often. You're going to refer to the planner often. I would refer to it before school because then you can pack your bag. If you know what classes you have on a particular day, you will know which items you need to pack. Otherwise, you're bringing all of your books and all of your supplies, and that's a heavy bag to bring with you. So you want to make sure that you plan carefully. Take your agenda out, take your planner out, and take a look at what classes you have that day. If you check it in the morning, you'll know if you have a meeting with a teacher, if you have to be with a group after school, and you can inform your parents that you might need a ride someplace. Also, you want to be able to access your planner during class to obviously write down your assignments. You also want to be able to access your planner at the end of the school day in case you have something to remember for after school. Maybe there's a club that you're going to today. Maybe you needed to see your chemistry teacher for extra help and you wrote that down during chemistry class. So it's really important that you check your planner at the end of the day. You'll need to also check your planner when you get home, when you sit down to do your homework. This way you can plan out your homework. So let's sum up what we learned about planners. You can use a paper planner or an online planner, and your online planner can be free, or you can also access ready-made ones for either your phone or for your computer. Make sure you have your planner with you all the time. Make sure you refer to your planner all the time. Make sure that you write down your homework clearly so there's enough information so you can go home and do your work. Include due dates. If there's no homework in a class, write none. Then you also want to check off assignments as they are complete. Include activities that are not academic or homework related to help you plan your time. And use the calendar in your planner so you can plan your time and ask your parents for help when you need it. Also, you can try color coding your classes to help you keep organized. And you can also include which day of the school cycle you have that particular class to help you plan when to do your homework. I hope that this overview of using a planner was helpful. I hope it removes some stress so that you are able to do your homework more effectively and efficiently. If you like this video, give me a like. And I hope that you consider subscribing so that you can find out more of my tips and tricks. And I hope to see you in my next video. Thanks for joining. Bye.